Washington. I mean, and then you've got the field organization. As far as the board, there's 15 directors, 15 vice directors, plus the officers, which is the president and first and second vice president. And this is how we're broken down. This is Delta Division right here that David and I oversee. We try to get out to a lot of the clubs during our term, and our term is 3 years. Every 3 years, all the directors, vice directors are reelected. And we go to Connecticut at least twice a year, twice for standing board meetings, but then we have committee meetings up there that we can't handle remotely. This is how the organization is set up at headquarters. And the two that you really need to think about is the emergency management director, which is Josh Johnson, and the field services manager, which is Mike Walters. Mike is a past section manager of Connecticut, also a longtime Microsoft employee. Josh was a past EMA director from Arkansas up around Russellville. And both of those guys are doing a great job up there. Every section, and for the 50 states and territories, there's a total of 74 sections. And if you think back at Field Day, all the little section monikers that you had to put down on your contacts, we're fortunate in our division that each state is a full section, but you get to, like, Florida is 2, California is 3 or 4. So that explains why there's 74 sections. But each section has a section manager, and Dave Thomas is our section manager. He lives over in the Chattanooga area, actually has a cabin up in the mountains that he lives in. He replaced Keith Miller, our longtime section manager, a couple of years ago. And David was just reelected last week, so he starts another term. But under David, we have a cabinet. And you heard Jim Snyder mention just a few minutes ago, section emergency coordinator. We have assistant section emergency coordinators. There's 3, one for each of the grand divisions of the state, and our Jeff Standifer is one of those. Those of you that participate in the 3980 net and the CW nets, Harold, WD4LAR, is in charge of that. He also has 7 assistant section managers and 2 club coordinators, of which Dudley, who's on the call right now, is one of the 2 club coordinators. And they work with all the affiliated clubs. Of course, we're not a club, but they work with the affiliated clubs across the state to be sure they get what they need to put their programs on, that they've got all their affiliation documents up to date. And if you go to the website that I've got down there, tnarrl.org index, you can see the full state, all the appointments. And I'm an engineer, so I like to work in charts. But if you look up here at the emergency services manager, which is Josh, field services manager, which is Mike, both of those guys work with the section manager, and then here's the section manager's cabinet. David and I, we work with the section manager, but not directly. We're not part of the field services group, but we all have to work together. And And under the section emergency coordinators, of course, here's Jeff. Public safety coordinator for Tennessee is David Wolf. He's a WCARES member. I don't know if David's there today, but this is how the state cabinet is set up. The assistant section emergency coordinator, the one for our part of the state that works with Jeff is John Etheridge out of McEwen. And if you get on down below that, you've got Williamson County is in District 4. And if you go on down from there, then the district emergency coordinators work with all the coordinators in their district. And District 4 has 7 counties in the Middle Tennessee area, of which Williamson County is one. Under normal operations, just conducting day-to-day business, but in times of severe emergency, like when I'm also the net manager for the division emergency traffic net, which when we have severe weather along the coast, we have a group of net control operators, about a dozen in each state, that will open the emergency net, and we will actually assist the Mississippi and Louisiana with their nets. And as you know, when you get a hurricane coming in, sooner or later, the guys down there are going to have to seek cover. And our net control operators from time to time will actually assume control of the Mississippi and Louisiana nets and help get traffic in and out. But that's basically how the chain of command is set up in the field services organization. Short and sweet, but if there's any questions, I'd love to entertain them.